Right, we've done the tenon. Now we're going to do the mortise, which is basically the hole what the tenon goes into. So we'll mark it out. So if you come in from the end of the timber, 100 mil to the edge of the joint. That's the side, and then if you put the timber on the thickness of the timber, now mark from that point. That's it, the width of the timber, and then square them two lines all the way around. Remember always to use the top of the square as you're squaring it around. So that's the shoulders marked all the way around. Now we've got the marking gauge set, the same as what it is for the tenon. So basically we'll mark from line to line now with the mortise gauge. That's it. We'll mark the face side and the back side. And then with a sharp pencil, drop into the lines. That's it. And now we're ready for chopping it out. So what we need to do next now, we need to cramp it onto the edge of the bench with the G-cramp. And always use a block of timber when using a G-cramp. The reason being, if we use the G-cramp straight onto the timber, we'll leave an indentation into the timber. So it's always best to put a little block on like that before you put the G-cramp on. And then cramp it up on the edge of the bench. It's always best to put these on the bench rather than the vise as well, because the vise isn't solid, but the bench is nice and solid to knock on with the chisel. Then what he's going to use next is the mortise chisel. The mortise chisel with the 4 square edges for chopping the hole out. That's it. And ready, mortise chisel and the mallet. It's important he starts at the end of the bench so we can see the chisel going down square. Always remember to start in the centre. Start in the centre and work out. Then you'll find when you get to the edge, it pushes into the middle. So checking to make sure it's nice and square, nice and straight. Yeah. And then basically start in the middle now and tap it. Yeah, that's it. Just a little bits at a time. Breaking it all up. You'll find now with him starting in the middle, when he gets to the end, it's pushing the chisel into the middle. If you start at the end, it would make the hole bigger. So now we've stopped there exactly on the line. See how it's perfectly on the line there. And then he turns the chisel round and does the same process now, working the opposite way. And then basically goes back to the middle again and starts again. It's working that process all the way through now. Breaking it all out into small sections. He needs to keep on doing this till he goes halfway. And then when he gets halfway, you turn it around and do the same process from the other side. Then turns around, starts again, goes a little bit deeper. Just, it's a case of basically breaking all the timber up into small bits, and it'll just basically loosen up and come out. Just want to tighten the G-cramp up there, so it just seems to be moving around a little bit, just so it's, just tell you what, if you slacken it off and just pull it so it comes onto the timber a bit more, that's it, there. And then nip it up, keep it as close to the bench as you can get it. That's better. You nip it up, is it tight there? Yeah, you should find it won't be moving now. there's a little tip. I'll just show you a little tip. So when he's going down now, of how he gets halfway, basically, if you put the chisel on the side of the timber like that, guess it's somewhere near halfway, and can you see how I've got my thumb? Put my thumb as a stop. So basically, when he drops his finger into the hole, when he drops the chisel in the hole, when your finger hits the timber, you know you're halfway. So just keep going down halfway until you can get to that section. Okay? So if you drop your chisel in now, that hole you've just put in, and push your thumb to the side of your chisel, and you can be able to see. That's it there, and it's halfway, yeah. So now if you take it out of the G-cramp and turn it around, do the same from the opposite side. That's it. Again, always, when you're putting a G-cramp on, always use a block of wood. Otherwise, when the metal goes against the timber, you'll find it'll create an indentation and mark the wood. So it's always good practice to always put a block of wood there, and always start from the centre and work out towards the outside edges. Right, if you take that now out of the G-cramp, and we'll put it in the vise, and we'll clean the hole out totally so we can go a nice clean hole ready for the tenon to go into. Now we use a bevel edge chisel, either a 25. There's a smaller one there if you need to use it. Should be okay with that one. Clean all the hole out nice and flat. That's it. And then turn it around, do the same on the opposite side. That's it, and blow it out. And turn it around. That's it. And the sides okay as well, are they? Right, so if you put it in the chisel, put it in the vise, and then with the chisel it down and get them corners off. You can either use the mortise chisel or the bevel edge chisel, whichever you want for this, to get them from the corners. I would use the mallet as well and just chop a little bit at a time, yeah. That's it. Remember, only go halfway. That's it. Okay. Now we'll go to fitting the tenon now in the hole. That's it, lovely. And that's one of the most strongest joints you can use in carpentry joining, the mortise and tenon. You can see it's used on window frames, door frames, timber frame buildings. It's the most common joint. You could fit the corners in a little bit tighter, but it's looking good up to now. We'll probably cramp up that. It's just not quite flush, but it's not a bad joint. Well done.